Powder coating is growing, and as it does, you know there will be someone or some agency out there in your business. With powder being less hazardous than wet paint, the industry has skirted around the issue of what to do with unused or unwanted powder for now. Our next guest knows they're close to a perfect solution that's affordable and easy to use. Growing in popularity with industrial coaters, this product will continue to have a greater impact on the industry than it does today. That's why they're on a mission to let others know that saving the world one bag at a time is a trend that will continue far into the future. Will custom coaters be a part of that trend? We examine the industry handles powder waste now and ask, could your company be more socially responsible? Get ready to level up your powder coater game. Welcome to the Powder Coater Podcast. I'm your host, Kim Scott, and today I have Combustion and Systems Inc. out of the tri-state area, Indiana. We were talking to Dennis Steinbus and Beverly Newskabel, and I brought them on the show today because I love innovative products. And I got an email in my inbox and I started to read it and I found out about this awesome product. But before we get started talking about what it is and how it might help your powder coater company, I want Dennis to talk a little bit about his combustion and systems business and then how he got into this product. So welcome to the Powder Coater Podcast, you guys. It's nice to have you.
Thank you, Kim, and nice to be here as well. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So tell us how you got into this industry and what is it that you do mostly, your systems. So I'm going to guess that it's systems for powder coating systems or powder coating businesses.
Yes, we're an OEM of industrial paint finishing equipment, including washers and ovens, conveyor systems, complete systems, wet systems. I've done this now for 42 years and started the business 21 years ago.
Wow.
And we have produced a product that helps our customers reduce their powder waste in a safe manner.
Yes. And that's what got my attention. So why don't we introduce this product? What problem were you trying to, did it just like a lightning bolt hit you one day, or what? Tell us how you arrived at getting to this before we introduce the product.
Well, we had customers having trouble with disposing of their waste powder. Some customers had put it in boxes, put it in their ovens, caught fire.
Oh.
Fire issues. Other customers were finding out that they could no longer put powder in their dumpsters as a powder form.
Yeah.
So there's lots of issues with trying to get rid of the powder as a powder form. And so once you make the powder a solid, it no longer becomes a problem. And so we developed a bag that would withstand 400 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And you could put it in your oven, and it can stand in your oven for 8 hours. It doesn't matter.
Right.
It becomes more brittle when you do.
Right.
An hour and a half, hour to hour is long enough. And as long as the powder gets gelled, and then when it cools, it becomes like a rock. And then you can dispose of it.
Right. So basically, you're selling a specialized or a special formulated plastic bag, which I have a sample of right here, that can you put your, like, if you're powder coating and you have some extra on the floor, can you sweep it up and put it as use it as a disposable kind of bag? Or is it just that you're using it for powder that's just sat too long on your shelf? What are the uses that you would use it for?
It does have multiple uses. You can And any kind of waste powder, whatever form it is, if it's on the floor, you can sweep it up, put it in the bag. You can put it right from your hopper into the bag. You can also store the powder in the bag. And then if you never use it in 5 years from now, you just grab it off the shelf and throw it in your oven, melt it, and it's gone. You don't have to handle it again. So there's, you can see through it. So there's color variations. So yeah, you can have multiple uses for it.
Yeah, I like that storage idea too. I never thought of that either, because sometimes when you get bags from wherever you order the powder, or we have shipping issues here, and so a lot of times you should see the boxes we get. They're just barely hanging in there, all shredded from even UPS. It doesn't matter who it is, and it's lucky it survived. You're just like wondering what the hell happened, We've also had where powder has kind of either exploded or not exploded, but like come apart or spilled or something. And then UPS or Federal, whoever it is, they will you could tell they kind of swept it up and put it back in the bag. And you're like, you can see all the powder on the inside of the box, and you're like scratching your head going, what, and then you're worried, like you should even use it, right? And you take that risk. So here I'm going to show people the bag, and it just looks like a normal plastic bag, but this bag is special because it can withstand the heat. It's a fairly big bag.
It's 24 by 36, and that's the only size we have of it.
Okay.
We've tried multiple different things, but that's the best all-around bag. If we had too many sizes, it'd be too complicated.
Yeah.
And so 40 to 50 pounds fits really well in it.
Uh-huh.
You poof it up like a little pillow or something, and then you can hang it on a line on a basket. If you have a line oven with a conveyor line on it, a hook with a basket works. A lot of manufacturers do their own basket.
Right.
If you have a batch oven, you can put it on the floor on a cart. It just depends what you have available. If you want to stick it in the oven at the end of the day, and just let it cook, for an hour or so, then turn the oven off. And then when you come in the morning, you take it out. There's different people will figure out their process as, what fits them.
Right. And it just comes the zip ties.
Yep.
That you get in there from you guys too as well. So when you put the powder in it, you said puff it up so that there's air inside, or do you want to kind of draw out the air before you zip tie it? Just question.
You want to draw out the air,
mm-hmm.
and then zip tie it, and then just like puff it down so it becomes like a thick pillow, if you will, in the bag. Don't leave it pumped up, if you can.
Take the air out.
Take the air out. Put it down. Yeah, make it level. Make it level in the bag. That helps get through to the to the center of the solid. Make it
right.
Solid,
yeah, because you got to get that heat all the way through.
Right.
And I mean, for a custom coder, I don't know how busy. I'd say it would take them a while. Just these. Or you can order them by the bag, right? You sent me some samples, but is this a normal size order that people get? It's like 5 bags.
No, they order them by hundreds.
Yeah, right. The bigger guys do.
You can order 1 to whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and so let's talk about that for a second. So how does someone order? Because I see you have like an order form that you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
But do they just call you at your phone number? Yeah. Or do you have an email, or what? How do they get a hold of you?
So they can call us at the office or email us. They can also go online and to our website and request an order from the website.
Okay. So, and what's your website? You want to hand it out to people so that they know, and your phone number?
Sure, it's www.combustionandsystems.com. and that's with the AND spelled out.
Yeah.
And then the phone number is 812 308 1046.
I do that all the time.
We have a few numbers, so that's the main line number.
Right.
I can't remember my phone number either. Don't feel bad.
Wait, push number 3.
Yeah.
And then your email is combustionandsystems.com. sales@combustionandsystems.com. You guys are out of Rising Sun, Indiana, which is near where? Tell me where in the country or where in the state it is. You're nearby.
Southeast Indiana, between
Southeast, okay.
And Indianapolis. We're kind of in between Cincinnati, Louisville, and Indianapolis.
Okay, cool. And how do you ship this?
UPS.
UPS, okay. And then you can take a credit card or, just there is a $5 handling fee and
if they use their own shipper.
Right.
If they use their own shipper, yeah, okay. And then, so pricing wise, we've got 1 to 49 is $3.69 a bag, which I think is totally reasonable for a small quantity. And then the pricing goes, you get a discount on the volume based on how much from 50 to 249, it goes down 35 cents. So you get a nice discount there and it's going to be kind of reverse, but you do have a nice price list. It's not I think this is really kind of becoming more and more of a, there's a practicality to the product, but there's also a social responsibility to the product.
Right. Yes, correct.
Which one is more important? And did you know you were saving the world one bag at a time? Let's talk about the social and the practicality, Yeah,
it's grown quite a bit over the last couple of years. Regulations are getting stricter and stricter out there as to what you can dispose of and how you dispose of it. So this has picked up quite a bit. And
barrels and landfills is the problem with a lot of people.
Yeah, so there's lots of different issues out there. This seems to be a pretty practical solution, and it's catching on pretty quick. So we have several hundred customers throughout the U.S. and Canada, and that are repeat customers.
Yeah.
So
you're finding the value in this, and the convenience, I think, too, where you don't have to creep out after dark and throw your powder in the dumpster.
Well, and like I was saying earlier, some people, bigger companies, would put theirs in these barrels or containers. And they have been saying that those containers are getting more expensive. They have to store them. They take room. They have to find somebody that'll come and get them and haul them. And then you got to find a landfill that will take your barrels full of powder.
Yeah. And the barrels can be just as toxic, like rusting out and, and taking extra room in your facility. I mean, I'm imagining a lot of custom coaters have powders that they haven't used in years, just sitting on the shelves that they could just get rid of and make more room for the powders they really need. And this would be a great way to dispose of it in a environmentally proper way. I think there's a lot that's going to happen soon with the EPA and the Green Deal, or we're back in the Paris, there's a lot coming that I want custom coaters to be aware of. And I think that this product is a great start to get that on the mind of custom coaters. Is like, hey, I gotta have systems in place to not just be compliant, but to be responsible socially as well, cultural, and culturally. I mean, maybe I'm just a little bit more aware of that because I'm on an island and literally we're shipping some of our trash, but it's mostly like recyclable stuff like boxes, cardboard, and cans and bottles and stuff. But other than that, everything goes into the backyard. It's only like not even a mile from here, and maybe we just a little bit more aware because we're on a limited island in the Pacific, and there's not much for us to do with our trash. You can't ship it to another state or do this or that easily. So we tend to be a little bit more self-aware here than maybe someone that lives, in the States and stuff. So this is a great solution. I can't wait to use the bags. And what I hope to do is, show people in a video when we have the time to do it, and add that to this video as well. So you have you did kind of say that the laws do change based on state to state. Are there some states, I mean, I'm imagining California is pretty tight, but are there any states that that you have clients in that it's like they have to have it, or they must do it, or is it just more kind of just slowly rolling out,
Yeah, we haven't really kept up on that too well. It's hard to, keep up on all the EPA regulations in the U.S. But I know some states, I think Minnesota is one of them, that you cannot. I don't want to speak out of place, but we've just heard, from hearsay that there are some states that don't allow the powder to be disposed of at all in a landfill.
Right.
And I don't know what the states are, but there are some, and there's more every year coming up, and seeping into waterways, things like that. So,
but it doesn't have any hazardous. It doesn't have any volatile compounds.
Right.
It doesn't. So it's not considered hazardous by the EPA. If you go to their website and read up on it. However, it's the way it's being disposed of that they had a problem with. Is the powder flying? Is it getting in the dirt? Is it getting in the soil? Is it doing this, that, and the other? There's a fellow, one of our customers, who, when he does his and it gets all solid, he's been building a wall where the land's coming down behind his property. And he said he's been using them like bricks and all natural, and building his own wall.
Oh, that's awesome.
With bags of the hardened powder that he has. So, I mean, is there a perfect solution for anything? I don't know. But this is as good as it gets. It's not going to blow on nobody's car out of a dump truck. It's not going to seep out into the environment in any way. It's solid and in a bag where it can't get out. And like I said, that fellow that he sent me that email, I just had to laugh. Of course, the EPA's biggest thing is they want you to reserve, recycle, and things like that, but you can only do
reuse,
to a certain extent. And then there are some places that will take your used powder, but then you've got to find them. And then, like in your case, get it shipped to them, which could be very costly. But the little bags, they don't take up no room on the shelf. They're very simple to use. And
and you fill as you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was thinking like you could put this like just sitting on the side, like a 5-gallon bucket, and just use it as like a trash can type, like you would your trash, and then just fill it as you go for the small guys in the shop. Maybe they're working out of their garage or their small commercial space like us. And, when it gets full, then you just pop it in there and then you can just put it in the dumpster or take it down to the dump or whatever,
See, that's the thing. That's another thing. Some states have different kinds of dump. They have, your trash They got what they call a hazardous landfill. They have what they call a hard landfill. It's really up to the person to find out what landfill that powder needs to be going in.
Right.
Not that it's a bad thing or that it's a problem, but just that they're segregating how it's done.
Right. Yeah. They do have different systems when you get down there. They have to, yeah, it just makes it easier for them to manage it and take care of it. I know that when we were in the painting industry, we used to either have to leave our cans, which was, if we had like maybe just a little bit left in the can or something like that, we'd leave the lid open and just let nature take its course, and dry it out. And then once it was dry, we could take it back to the paint store, and then they would, if we bought it from them, like if it was their brand, they would actually have a really nice, not exchange program, but just drop off program. And you can actually have additives in paints where you can, say you had like a 3/4 of a can left, you could buy this material that helps cure it and solidify it faster without having to wait. I am so glad I'm done with those days, to be honest with you, because it was such a hassle. And then stuff gets old after a while too, and then it smells and, whatever. But I would imagine, though, that doing this process is similar to like how the paint industry has to deal with disposal. So I would guess that it would be along those lines of what painters have to deal with. So yeah. This is just awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. And if you have a question about their product, I'll try to put the links in below on the episode so that you can contact Bev and Dennis and get your supply. I encourage all of you guys to start thinking about recycling. Of course, reusing is kind of part of the mentality of custom coaters anyways. They're bootstrapping, they're DIYers. And I think that this this type of bag system actually falls right in line with the thinking. And you've got it for a pretty affordable price too. So I appreciate you coming on the show today. And if you want to reach out to Dennis and Beverly, they are at combustionandsystems.com, sales@combustionandsystems.com, or give them a call at 812-308-1046 to order your bags. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to try out a powder disposal bag from CS Combustion and Systems Incorporated. We're going to basically put the powder, our used powder, into this bag.
Unused powder.
It's unused powder, and some of it's old and it's clumpy, and some of it has chunks from the manufacturer in it that we're not going to use. And basically what you do is you put the powder into the bag, and you close up the bag and you put it on the oven floor and let it sit there for like 20 minutes at temperature and then pull it out. So let's get to it. We got here some ultra charcoal. Get rid of that. Oh yeah, oh, don't do that. Hey!
Don't lose the bag.
Boy.
Oh my goodness, Ross. Don't worry, most of it's still in the bag.
Don't kill the sea turtles.
Normally what you do is put it in a trash bag and then take out the trash when you're ready, so.
Unfortunately, I just swept my booth floor, so I don't have any
but you
old
could,
stuff.
you could do that. You could sweep up after you're done powder coating any excess or unused powder that fell to the floor. You just unpack it, put it in there. This is just some unused powder that we used that we either didn't like or it didn't do what it was supposed to. You can mix colors, you can do whatever because it's all going to be in one bag and stay in one bag, so. Fun.
Let me just reread this because
All you do is
place
take out
bag
the,
into 350 to 400 degree oven for 20 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on the consistency of your oven temperature. If it doesn't work in 20 minutes, leave it a little longer. Will not hurt anything. Just do so. Leave it on the floor. Do not exceed 400 degrees.
right. And so Dennis and Bev said, take out the air.
Take out the air.
Honey, you can't see. Turn around.
I'm taking it out. Okay.
Take out the air.
And I lost my zip tie.
He gave you zip ties.
I know. Okay.
So just come so we can see what you've done. I can't see because your hand is covering the zip tie. So we've taken out the air, we've attached the zip tie, and now we're going to hang it in the oven.
No. It was on the floor.
He said put it in the, hang it.
Says on the directions
Oh, okay.
on the floor.
Once the bag is filled with powder and heated, the contents will solidify, and the bag and its contents are safe and ready for disposal. No worries, no hassles. Read all the directions and follow this process carefully.
All right, Ross Code here. We basically had the combustion system bag with the powder in the oven. We did it for 20 minutes at 380 degrees. We left it in overnight on the floor. Now we have a concrete floor electric oven here, so let's take a look at this bag, see what happened. Wow, hard as a rock. This is pretty interesting here. The powder has totally solidified, basically flattened into the floor of the oven. Let's open this up and take a look at it. Oh wow, this is cool. So the bag doesn't even stick to the powder. Really interesting. It just comes right off.
That is interesting.
And looks like we have either the
A piece of art.
A piece of art. Seriously, look at that.
Wow, that's really cool because it mixed with the silver and the black that we
Yeah,
had.
yeah. We have clear coat, black, and ultra chrome all on this. Very interesting. So what's really cool about this is you don't have dust now when you throw this away. It's just like any other paint. Probably break it up. Let's see. That broke pretty easy. So you can break it up and just throw it away, and no more dust like that.
Or you can keep it in the bag.
Yeah, or keep it in the bag and break it up. Cool.
Yeah, and they're very low priced. Each bag is like $3.49 each. What do you think of that price?
I think that's great. That's a great solution for when you're cleaning out your booth and the back inside of your booth and you gotta get all the powder out.
Yeah.
You know, I used to just fill up a trash bag and close it up, you know, and then you got the dust problem, but now it's all gone.
Yeah, and I think minimizing the dust in your trash is a good thing.